After a seeming defeat by Solomon, Red had reconstructed his body into his gigantic final form, transporting us to a blazing inferno in the process. It was reminiscent of our first encounter, actually. Except now the scenery, much like the true power of Red, had become very real. The music had erupted into a loud blaring sound, a furious drum of death. Faced against Red's insane amount of health, my own demise was imminent. Solomon was my strongest monster, but not even he stood a chance. It was like trying to fight a mountain. And within seconds, Solomon was overpowered and dropped to the floor, when Red crushed him to death underneath his foot. The sadistic demon took his time as he snapped Solomon's vertebrae and ribs like dry, brittle twigs. I could tell he was enjoying our pain. "You are weak. Your monsters are weak. You will all die. This is hopeless. I'm a dead man," I thought. I had no choice but to send another monster to his death. We were all going to die, and I only hoped that they would forgive me. After decreasing Red's health by a minuscule amount, Angerus was also obliterated. Red unleashed a hail of blazing hot needles onto his face until he collapsed. After another moment of unspeakable agony, then nothingness as my ally faded away. "You can't win, Zachary." I asked Red how he knew my name, and then he said it. "I've known you for a long time. I'll tell you a secret. I killed Melissa. For years, she was being tortured by something nobody understood. Now I knew what it was. Now I understood why I was mocked about Melissa's death and how the game knew about it. Because he knew about it. Because he was the one responsible. And this time he was going to kill me. Send your last monster. I will end this futile struggle. I was taken back to the board to send Godzilla to his final stand. Barely anything was left of the board, just Godzilla and Red's icons. And the fifth monster. In the midst of everything that was happening, I had completely forgotten about it. I tried yet again to select it. I cursed, I begged, I screamed at it to do something, anything to help me. To no avail. There was only one thing to do. I knew Godzilla didn't stand any more of a chance than the rest did. But maybe now that all the other monsters were gone, the fifth monster might finally awaken. I managed to get the creature's icon selected, and I pressed the A button as fast as I could. The icon started to shake as if it were trying desperately to move. And it was then that Red decided that he was done playing fair, and before that I could activate the monster, he went for the killing blow, paralyzing my heart. My hands started to become numb and unfeeling, but even as my vision was fading away, I still tried to press the A button. Game over. Red surely was breaking one of his rules, but he must have thought that if he could kill me quickly, then it would be too late for any consequences to matter. He would have won. And he was wrong. Game over. Game over. Red's power was now being challenged by another force, a glitch on the screen that overtook it. It prevented him from killing me, and when I regained my vision, I saw a familiar sight. The blue figure. "Zack," it said, "we don't have much time." "Who are you?" "You already know me. I am Melissa." "What? How is that possible? Red told me that he killed you." "It's true. Even after death, he tortures me. If you can't stop him, he'll do the same to you." But how will I be able to stop him now?" "I can't fight Red. But there is one who can. I will release him from Red's grasp. Don't give up. I love you." Her words stirred something inside of me. I wasn't going to die like this. And I had more to fight for than just my own life at this point. I had to fight to save Melissa and the world that she inhabits. With her help, the fifth monster was finally unleashed. Akakius, the Golden Light. It was time to end this, once and for all. Together we would take this damn hellspawn out of existence. Red stated, "They can't save you." Akakius was by far the strongest playable character in the game. He had to be, if we were to have any chance of surviving. His punch involved turning his hands into blades, which caused tremendous damage. But Red had more than enough life to spare, and in the end, this would come down to pure skill. Over and over, I attacked, one button after the other. Red kept spamming his attacks, one after the other in tandem. And with one final strike, Red was destroyed. Barely any power, barely any life left on my end. His body disintegrated and sank below, accompanied by a soar of triumphant music. Slowly the paralysis wore off, and I was able to stand again. We had done it. Melissa's death had been avenged, and I felt overwhelming happiness. Until I remembered all the death and pain that led up to this point, all the other monsters who had fought and died. I was about to mourn them, but the game had yet to conclude. Tears of joy began to stream down my face, and I broke out crying as I saw all of my monsters, the ones who I thought were gone forever, appear on screen next to Melissa. Face was even there. I cried harder than I had in several years, maybe in my whole life. All I had been through, all I had discovered. And now the game was finally coming to an end. But before she and the others left, Melissa had something to tell me. "You've saved us, Zachary. We are forever grateful. We'll be together again. Someday. We'll be together again. Someday." And with that, I was brought to the title screen.